Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll give attendees a few minutes to jump on the call. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll be starting at 3:05 just to give attendants a few minutes to join. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. Welcome to Helping Contractors Do Business with LA County and Metro, presented by Supervisor Kathryn Barger, which we have the pleasure of having her be here today. My name is Mildred, and I will be providing assistance during the webinar. If you experience any technical issues, please email me at mildred@mwis.com, and I'll drop that in the chat for you all. A dedicated contract development manager, Carla Tillis, she is standing by to answer questions via the chat and Q&A function. If you would like to have your questions answered by the speakers, please hold them until the Q&A after the presentations. In today's agenda, we have LA County and Metro Board member Supervisor Kathryn Barger giving a welcome, presented by presentations from the Contractor Development and Bonding Program and our sponsors, LA County and Metro. However, before we go into our sponsors' presentations, we will share a recent Channel 11 news segment. Adam and Bethany White from Fixed Dimensions and Juan Garcia from PG Cutting Services were invited to the studios to speak on their success and the assistance the Contractor Development and Bonding Program provided. As mentioned, we will hold a Q&A session after the video and presentations to answer any questions that may come up. To introduce LA County Supervisor and Metro Board member Kathryn Barger, please welcome Alex Ruker, LA County Specialist at 3D Networks Corp. 3D Networks provides the outreach and engagement to promote the CDABP program in collaboration with Merriwether and Williams Insurance Services. Please help me in giving a warm welcome to Alex.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I will tell you, I am very proud to introduce Supervisor Barger today. If you don't know it already, her district is the largest district in LA County of all the 5 supervisors. I didn't realize she had 3,000 square miles that she represents. And of those square miles, she has 20 cities and 83 unincorporated communities. She is hard at work. I know she works 24/7. She's dedicated to providing effective and responsive representation to the residents of Los Angeles. And you can surely tell that by looking at her supervisor's district. She's very she is very good at working with different levels of government to implement vital public safety initiatives and other forms of public policy. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that she's considered the historian at LA County. County supervisors will tell you that if they want to do any research or on any policy, like when it started, how it got implemented, they all go to Supervisor Barger because she was there and she knows all of this. She's very well respected, the most respected, probably most respected supervisor in the county. She is a champion for small businesses, and she was a strong advocate for this program, which is really beneficial to all of the attendees today that are small and diverse businesses. So we can thank Supervisor Barger for that. She knows practically everybody in LA. And one of the things that I really love, she has many virtues and talents, but she brings people together, something that we vitally need at this day and age. And so without any more to say, I could speak all day about Supervisor Barger, but we want to hear from her. Supervisor Barger, you're on, and you look magnificent.
Taking you home with me. First of all, thank you for that warm introduction and welcome to this afternoon's webinar. As you've heard, I'm Los Angeles County Supervisor Kathryn Barger, proudly representing the 5th District and serving as a member of the Metro Board of Directors. The County of Los Angeles has allocated billions of dollars toward public construction opportunities throughout the region, which has driven the growth of the construction industry. Metro, the county's public transportation system, is behind a multi-billion-dollar construction boom as a result of the voter-approved Measure M in 2016. This measure is the most ambitious infrastructure expansion program in the nation, and it's expected to generate $120 billion to complete dozens of major infrastructure projects over the next 40 years. These projects will provide new and improved transportation options for residents and visitors alike. Because Los Angeles County is hosting the 2028 Olympics, there is even more focus on developing and building critical infrastructure projects. This includes building new sports facilities, improving transportation infrastructure, and enhancing public spaces. And the construction boom in Los Angeles County is helping drive economic growth and improve quality of life. With major infrastructure projects underway and more on the horizon, the region is poised for growth in the years to come. Small and diverse businesses have immense potential to succeed, yet they often face barriers that hinder their progress. Make no mistake, I'm committed to breaking down these barriers. The Board of Supervisors believes that every licensed contractor should have a chance to participate in public contracting opportunities with government agencies. To achieve this, the county and Metro implemented the Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program, which aims to empower small and diverse businesses and to help them thrive. This program offers a wide range of services, benefits, and opportunities that can help businesses expand their reach and achieve their goals. One of the key features of this program is to focus on bonding, something that I know can be a barrier. This critical process ensures the completion of public works and other projects by providing financial guarantee to the project owner. And I know you all know how important that is. Through the program, you have access to resources and training that will help you understand the fundamentals of bonding and how to use it to your advantage. The program also provides a wide range of other benefits, including access to capital, to technical assistance, and networking opportunities. By participating in the program, you can gain the skills and the knowledge you need to successfully bid on and complete projects, as well as build relationships with other contractors and businesses in your area. We believe this program has the potential to bring about positive change in the industry. We are excited about the possibilities that lie ahead and are committed to ensuring these opportunities are made available to all. This webinar is an opportunity for you to gain valuable insights and knowledge to grow your business. Whether you're new to the world of procurement or have some experience already, taking advantage of this chance to learn and develop your skills can be hugely beneficial. So don't hesitate. Now is the time to get involved and take your business to the next level. Thank you for your participation. We hope you get a lot out of today's webinar. The goal is to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Barger. You have been a strong advocate for small businesses, and we greatly appreciate your support.
It's my honor, and thank you all. And again, take advantage of this. This is incredible.
Thank you. As Supervisor Barger mentioned, the Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program aims to support the County of Los Angeles and Metro's objectives of increasing opportunities for small and diverse contractors to participate in their projects. To explain how the program achieves this, we have invited Robert Lowry, Field Support Project Executive for Merriwether and Williams Insurance Services, who administers the program, to speak about the core services that enable small and diverse contractors to participate in public contracting. Please help me in welcoming Robert Lowry.
Thank you for that, and welcome everyone. And Mrs. Barker, that was a phenomenal speech introduction you did. I mean, you really nailed it. I mean, it's like, how can I follow up on that one there? But it was phenomenal. Thank you so much. So my name is Robert Lowry. I'm the Field Support Project Executive, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the program. So next slide, please. Okay, a little bit about Merriwether and Williams. You know, we're a full service property and casualty insurance broker. And we administer the program for the county and metro. We provide bonding technical assistance. We also have an office in San Francisco, LA, and Oakland. And we're also a small woman minority owned firm. So we know how it works, and we've been through the trenches, and we are grateful to be able to administer this program for the agencies. Next slide, please. So with the program purpose and missions, as we say, we have 4 pillars that we always focus on: the assessment, technical assistance, bonding, contract, finance, project assistance. Education and training is a very important pillar that I spend most of my time in, advocating and educating the contractors that are enrolled into the program. And the 4th pillar is the prime contract partnerships. This is where we reach out to large hiring general contractors to get them to participate in the program. So it's a great program for everyone, and this is at no cost to you once you enroll into the program. Next slide, please. So the basics in bonding basics, like what is bonding? It's a third-party agreement that guarantees a contract completion. It's not like insurance; it's totally different. Why do we need bonding? It's by laws of federal, excuse me, Federal Act 1894 and the Miller Act in 1935, and it's also for local and state, the little Miller Acts. So the insurance then received at the finished product a negotiated price and ensures the owner of all subcontracts and suppliers, vendors are being paid. So it's more of an insurance thing. Next slide, please. So some of the services that's with the program is, we help obtain and increase your bonding capacity. That's the key thing. We want you to be ready to do business at any given time that you see an opportunity with the public works. We also work with technical assistance, which consists of one-on-one coaching, a bid review. It's like a one-stop shop. You come to your contract development manager and they will work with you as a business development, et cetera. So that is what the technical service is about. We also have a new feature in our program. It's a contract-based finance program, and my colleague Janet Ramirez will talk about that in a few minutes. I did mention about the account manager, which is your dedicated person that will help you with your assessments, help with your work plan, whatever you need, that person is there. So you're not, trying to find it yourself. That is the great thing about this program, that somebody is dedicated to you at all times. We also have the agency has collateral support, where they do the collateral to help you get the bond that you need. So that is great that we do that. We also protect that collateral with different services that we provide once you are on a project. We also have the $3,200 for CPA prepared financial statements to help you get your books ready once you get to the bigger level, next level in your business. And we also, every week, we have a Contractor weekly publication that goes out that talks about the bid opportunity, projects, events. It is a great event. It comes out every Wednesday afternoon, and everything that you need is in there. So we are all about being efficient and getting the word out to you in a timely fashion. Next slide, please. So one of the pillars that we talked about was technical assistance. The assessment and work plan. Once you enroll into the program, you'll be assigned to a contract development manager, and that person will reach out to you to set up a time to do an assessment. And this assessment is to get to know you and where you want to go with your business. And from that, we develop a work plan to keep you focused on how to grow the capacity you build your business. We'll do check-ins monthly on you to see that you are progressing on this. We'll help you with your pre-qualifications with different agencies. Another feature is your contractor profile, which is your statement of capability. We will work with you and put one together so that you can market your company. It's a great 2-pager. It highlights your company. All your certifications are listed there. Also, we'll work with you on your certs. If you don't have them, we will guide you in making sure that you can get to the portals to fill out the information to get your certifications with agencies. One of the key things is the bid document review. That's where we will go to the pre-bids. We'll obtain the plans, review them. Once you're ready to, bid on that, we will work with you and go through the plans and specs so that you are, identifying the right things. Once you're on the project, I will do that contract completion support. That's where we're doing monthly check-ins, working with your billing change orders to make sure that you're successfully completing the project, so that way you get your bond returned and the collateral is returned back into the pool of funds for the next contractor. We provide monthly workshops and coaching. And we also have academies that we do twice a year. We have the bidding estimating, so that will be coming up very soon in a couple of months, where it's a 5-week academy. We take you through a mock bid, go through the documents. And then the next one is a contract award and management. This is once you're on the project, what do you do? Contract negotiation, your field management, project management. So that's a 6 weeks course that we do 3 hours once a week. It's just to help you grow your capacity. And finally, we have the prime partnership, where we have these primes that will speak at these academies. So it's a networking event for you at the same time of learning how they do business and help you grow yours. Next slide, please. And this, I'm going to let Janet speak on this slide here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janet Ramirez. I am going to briefly talk about our contract financing assistance program. So a little background before we get into the slide is it is a short-term loan program that really provides that financial lifeline to contractors while they're waiting for their first payment. So this loan can be used for payroll needs, material, locking in those vendors. So this is a really great program as it is a job-specific type of financing. So it is geared for small businesses. This really allows them to go ahead and use their awarded contract as collateral. So some of the requirements that we do have is first, you must be enrolled into our contract development bonding program. Once you are assigned with your contractor development manager, you can go ahead and let them know that this is something that you're interested in, and then we can go ahead and help you get pre-qualified. But in the meantime, you would need to be a SBE. It must be a construction contract. Like we said, the contract is used as collateral. And then once you do get approved for the loan, not all of the money will be released. So let's say you are approved for $150,000 loan, but let's say you just need that $50,000 first, we'll go ahead and release the funds in tranches so it doesn't accumulate in the interest. So these are earmarked loans that are approved for specific projects. It needs to be completed within the time frame that we expect the project to be. So sometimes the loan can be up to 3 months, 6 months, a year. Just depends how the length of the project is. So the way the loan works, it's really the bills get paid. So whatever payroll needs to get paid first, vendors, material, and then whatever is next, it would be interest payments that are sent to the lender. And then once the project is complete, we will go ahead and obtain that profit from that project. So we do encourage you guys to get pre-qualified prior to you bidding on work, just because it'll give us enough time to draft up a cash flow projection. So we like to say it's more than money. It's not just a loan that will go ahead and provide funds, but will really provide that technical assistance to you, such as reviewing the bid, drafting up a cash flow projection, and really utilizing Robert's services to support you and monitor the the project from beginning to end. So the max amount of loans per project would be $250,000. There are a third-party funds administration that is required for our sponsors. So currently the interest rate for the loans, it is a 9% interest rate, plus that 1% that goes directly to our lender. However, although it may seem high, it is a lot less than contractors who put these items on their credit card, because usually those are 18 to 25% of interest rate. And the good thing is that the interest will only accumulate to the funds that are released. So although you were approved for the $150,000 loan, doesn't necessarily mean you'll be accumulating that interest on the full amount. It'll only be towards the amount that you have, the money that has been dispersed. So again, our goal is to help you bid on more projects. They're more attainable with these funds that are provided to you. The good thing is that once you do get approved for the loan and you complete your project, this does boost your credit score. And our goal ultimately is to get you commercially bankable, right? So you can go ahead and keep growing as a company and keep obtaining these larger projects. So I encourage you to get pre-qualified. talk to your contract development manager, and then we can work closely together to get you pre-qualified and get all the ducks in a row for your next.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janet, for that. Okay, the next part of our service with the program is bid document review. And we do have a disclaimer. We do not work with your numbers because that is a risk that we do not want to take on, or, the reason why if we are working with your bid numbers and something's off, then you can be blaming us. So we do not do that part. So, but we will do everything is we will attend the pre-bid, we review the contract, the plans and specs, will identify any risks that I see out there. After 30 years of being in construction project management, and I can kind of figure out right off the bat what are some of the risks to help you. And then as all the documentation that needs to be filled out, as part of your being responsive and responsible bidder, all the documentation we'll go through to make sure that you have filled it out. Don't leave anything blank. Make sure that, that it be notarized, signatures. So we will go through all the documentation because we want to make sure that your bid is complete and will not be disqualified for that. And then we will send you back to go through your documents again to fix anything. And one thing I want to emphasize is, if the bid is coming up, please do not wait till 3 days before to reach out. It's kind of hard for us to get through the plan, specs, documents, meet with you, make the changes, and for you to get it back to us for one final review before you submit. So we always say, add that time into your timeline when you're going to be bidding on a job. As soon as you're going to be bidding it, let us know so we can get involved with you right at the very beginning. Then after the bid has been posted and you were not successful, we can do a debrief to educate you on, what are the areas that you need to improve. And I'm sure that the county and Metro will find time to help you because they want to see you win jobs in the future as well. So we are there to hold your hand, be there with you every step of the way. So that is one valuable piece is with the bid document review. Next slide, please. And like I said, once you're on the project, this is where, I spend most of my time, is we're going to have a kickoff with you, the hiring agency, the funds control. Everybody will get together and we will, have a meeting to understand why do we do these monitoring check-ins? Why do we have funds control? What's the purpose of the contract status report, the principal status report? The monthly billings. We get together so everybody's on the same page at the very beginning to understand the importance of this because we want you to be successful in completing the project. If there's change orders, what is the process? Billings and payments, going through your construction schedule right at the very beginning. We also will provide site visits, go out to the site, and walk the sites, and do an audit, safety, things that we see that can help improve your team's actions out there, the quality. Like this is something dear to me, is helping contractors get completed through the jobs. We can go to the OAC meetings and set in, we're going to be a neutral party. We're just going to be there to coach you. Change orders log, going through that to make sure that you are submitting proper change orders requests and that you're getting them back on a regular basis. What I like to see is you doing it on a monthly basis, getting it reconciled so that those open change orders, you can complete the work and bill for it before the project is over. So that is the big key part with the completion. I see Keith Compton is on here from Metro. He and I have been out to project sites in the past, and I work well with him. So he is very dedicated to this as well with the completion, because that way you get the money back, you grow your capacity, your bond can increase for the next job, so you can move on and keep growing your company with this. Next slide, please. Okay, with that, here's our contact information. Like I said, you can reach out to us to get the enrollment form, and I will still be around here for any questions at the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert and Janet, for that excellent presentation. If you are a contractor that wants to break into public contracting, this is a program for you. We encourage you to ask questions, to apply. We are here to help you succeed. Mentioned earlier, 2 of our contractors were recently at Fox Studios to share their success stories and challenges they faced along the way. During their talk, they mentioned the program, and we wanted to share this with you. So let's take a closer look at their inspiring journey.
Joining us right now to talk about small businesses are 3 people that I think will be able to give us a pretty good idea of what we're talking about. Juan Garcia, you're with a company called PG Cutting Services, and I want to know a lot about what that is actually. And then Adam and Bethany White have a company called Fixed Dimensions. And so your service is cutting concrete? Is that what that?
We cut concrete, we core holes through concrete for new construction or rehab projects.
And Bethany?
We are a women-owned business. We supply cabinets and cabinet installation.
And so your husband works for you?
That's correct.
I got it. Okay, great. And what's your feeling about the subject of fairness in businesses?
I think it's great that there's more focus on small businesses getting big contracts. It really does help us.
So let's talk about this a little bit, Juan. We talk about this equity and this pledge and this need for infrastructure fairness, and the big guys get all the big bucks. And what's your experience with that? And do you think this pledge that we've talked about can make a difference?
I really do think that it can make a difference. It's made somewhat of a difference already for us through the certification programs and the city and county mentorship programs. It has helped already, and without it would be a challenge.
And you own this business,
yes,
and so it's a minority-owned business,
yes.
and when we talk about minority-owned businesses, there's a lot of complications. It's a bigger kind of a slog.
You have to have all your, there's small businesses, and everybody starts off in a garage. One truck, one piece of equipment, to say, but you have to scale up. You have to have all your ducks in a row with insurance and licensing and all that stuff, but then you hit a block wall sometimes with financing or with bonding, or even just the opportunity to be able to bid on these bigger projects.
And that bonding term again has to do with the insurance and
yes.
being able to protect the project. And so Bethany, I guess, have you had trouble and challenges getting contracts?
So I would say the biggest challenge is being able to have the cash flow and the capital to perform the work. So we have the skills, but in order to float the job for 30, 60, 90 days, that's where the contract-based financing has really propelled our business.
And Fixed Dimensions does what?
We install cabinets.
Do you find that when you're trying to bid for a job to install cabinets that you're beat out by bigger companies that are not minority-based?
It can happen.
And why?
They are able to typically have smaller margins because they're a larger company. So as a small business, we have to maintain our margins. And like you said before, all of the extra expenses that are needed to perform that size of job.
But whenever there's a challenge, you fall off a mountain, you climb back up the mountain again. So how'd you get that leg up? How did you manage to overcome some of these challenges?
One of the things that helped me was to start attending some of these programs and really start focusing on my own business development. Another big challenge that we were running into was bidding on public works projects and not being union. So we decided 7 years ago to join the union, and that made it just a lot easier to get on these prevailing wage projects per se.
We've talked about the equity and infrastructure pledge. We've talked now a little bit about the local end of this, and LA Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program is something I want to touch on here. What is that?
So for us, they they partnered with us to take a look at our financials and see what type of loan they could, at a low interest, they could provide us so that we could perform the work.
And this program, LA Regional Contractor Development and Bonding, is it also something that not only just provides that, but provides all kinds of resources, perhaps a training on how to do certain things? Give me an idea what that does.
They offer estimating classes. They offer, they help you create a capability statement. They assess your capability right now to see what you're bondable for and help you scale up that capacity. And they're there to help you continue to increase your bonding capabilities.
What would that be like if you didn't have that sort of a program, Bethany? And I guess we ought to give your husband a shot here, right?
No, she's doing great.
We're turning you into a minority here.
She's doing perfect.
What would you want to respond to that?
What was the question?
I don't remember. No, I mean, the point being that you've got these programs, they help you out, and the challenges that you've run into are things like...
let's start with the bonding. To get any one of these contracts, you have to be able to be insured for it, and the bonding was crucial. Nobody's going to hire you on just your word alone.
How long have you been involved in this program?
About 2 years.
About 2 years, same for you?
About 6 years.
About 6 years. How effective has it been for you?
Very effective.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so it's made a difference?
Absolutely.
Would you give us a word or two on what the difference is?
You just feel this sense of support when you're bidding something. In fact, right now I'm bidding a big project in a week or two with LA Metro, and I need more bonding for this particular project. So we already have the wheels in motion. Without that, I would be a little lost or feel unsupported, perhaps.
We're out of time, but just very briefly, what's the bottom line? Bottom line with regard to trying to be a small business, trying to work in the environment.
It's hard. If there wasn't these set-asides, these requirements where a percentage of the contract has to go to minorities and women-owned businesses and underserved communities, it would probably not be happening the way it is now. These percentages or these set-asides are more mandatory, so it gives us a real, true opportunity.
And with all due respect, I'm going to give your boss the last word.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think this program allows us to grow as business owners and allows our business to grow.
All right. Bethany and Adam, thanks for joining us. And Juan, all the best to all of you. And thanks for sharing your information. And coming up next on Fox 11 News, joining us right now.
Awesome. So that was Adam, Bethany, and Juan. Thank you. We are very appreciative of them, and everyone at CDAP wishes them the best in all of their future endeavors. So before we proceed, let's take a poll from the audience. I'll give the audience 30 seconds to respond. Perfect. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone who participated. Next, we have Robert Murphy, Business Relations and Compliance Associate from LA County Public Works, here to help us learn how to do business with one of the largest municipal public works agencies in the United States. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you so much, Mildred. I appreciate it. Good afternoon to everybody here. My name is Robert Murphy. Again, I work for Los Angeles County Public Works, and it really is a great pleasure to be here. Every day I wake up, and I hope to have the opportunity to speak with people, individuals, businesses, just to help anybody who needs it to navigate doing business with Los Angeles County and Los Angeles County Public Works in particular. Is the slideshow up right now? I don't see it.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Pardon me. Thank you, Keith. Hi, Robert. It should be going on your end. Julie, let me know if you're having technical difficulties.
Difficulties right now. I am trying to share my screen. Give me one quick second.
Okay.
Then Mildred, while she's getting that ready, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Public Works to save some time. LA County Public Works has a lot of different services that we provide, a wide range across various different service areas. We manage sustainable water, transportation, waste management. We have infrastructure projects, vertical and horizontal, all across Los Angeles County into hundreds of active projects, so over billions of dollars worth of projects actively going on, and many more to come. Next slide, please. Okay, great. So again, I'm very excited to be here, and there are a few things that you have to do as a business owner before you can do business with Public Works, and it's the step one is to just become a Los Angeles County vendor. And that's handled by one of our sister departments, the Internal Services Department. And you can go to that website there, and they made it a very easy process, and they're continually improving it. And they have assistance there if you have trouble. And next slide, please. So become a county vendor, step one. Step two, I suggest you check out any type of business preference programs that will allow your business to get certified as a small business or a disabled veteran-owned business, social enterprise. There's various certification types that will help you and your business be competitive in the solicitation or contracting space. And that's also run by another department, the Department of Economic Opportunity, and they will help you with that. Next slide, please. Okay, finally, and step three, after you become registered as a county vendor and you've checked out the certifications available to you, then you can come and check out our website and see what kind of opportunities are available to you. And that's where you start doing business with us. We have lots of contracting opportunities. As I mentioned before, we have so many different services that we provide. We need a tremendous amount of help to deliver those services. Next slide, please. And that's just, there's just some of the opportunities, like as I mentioned before, because of the wide variety of services that we do provide, there are many different contracting opportunities almost for any type of business. Next slide. And so for one example is on the purchasing or procurement side, we need everything from pencils to heavy equipment to building materials and everything in between. And so if you're a supplier of either services or materials, then there's many opportunities for those. And there's just some examples there on the screen. Next slide, please. And that is our website address, dobusinesswithpublicworks.com. And I'm going to quickly walk you through this. I don't have a lot of time, and so you can always reach out to us afterwards if there's some gaps or I'm going too quickly for you. But this is where you can see the types of contracting opportunities that are available to your business. And I'm going to help you navigate it so that you can find it in the most efficient way possible and effective. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the ways is you can filter it by the type of contracting opportunity that your business would be able to provide. And so if you don't want to look at everything, then you can, there's the options there. You can do it by professional services, or if you're in construction, you can do it for the infrastructure projects. That's one filter available to you. And then next slide, please. There's another filter that's based on the status of the solicitation. And most people will probably want to know the open ones, but there isn't some benefits to looking at either what's upcoming or potentially what has been awarded in the past. And the reason you'd want to do that is for research for the future. If we've awarded a contract in the past, then there's a possibility we may do it in the future. So you want to get a sense of what we've done in the past, what we're doing now, and what's upcoming. And all of those options are available to you on the website, or you can skip the filters and just look at everything that's open to you at that moment. Next slide, please. Okay. And so this is once you find a business that is, an opportunity that is a good fit for your company, or you're going to want to sign up. We'll look at the project summary, pay close attention to the information that's there, work closely with the contract administrator, make sure that you're only communicating with that person who is assigned to that particular solicitation. And I'm not going to spend too much time here. It's very important that you understand it seems overwhelming and there are a lot of different steps, but it's completely possible. You just have to pay attention to the details and practice and get the help that's out there that's available to you. And there's a few areas on there that are very important, like the due date, who to contact, but it's all important. You don't want to get disqualified from an opportunity because you forgot to cross a T or dot an I. Next slide, please. And then once you find something that is a good fit for you, you're going to register as a plan holder. I suggest you actually sign in, and if you don't have an account already, then you're going to want to create one, and then you can put your name down as a potentially interested in being a subcontractor also, or a supplier. You don't have to be a prime contractor to do work with Los Angeles County. You can also do it as a subcontractor. And the best way to start is to get to sign up for the project as a plan holder, and then indicate what your interest is for that particular project. Next slide, please. Okay, and on our website, we will deliver a weekly email blast to businesses with the newest opportunities that have been released that week, and along with other important information and resources for businesses and individuals that are trying to navigate not just the contracting world, but just the business, the economic business competition out there. And there are a lot of resources and a lot of places to go, and a lot of really great people that want to help you. So I would take full advantage of all of those. And one step is you can just go to our website and sign up for that weekly email blast, and you'll get one email per week that gives you some of those resources, events, funding opportunities, and of course the open solicitations. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, and thank you again for having me. There's a lot of information in there. Again, please feel free to reach out to us. There's our contact information. We have a team of people that are dedicated to helping you. And one of my colleagues, Christine, has been dropping links throughout this conversation, and you should be able to access them through there. If not, you can always go to our website and somebody will be available to help you. Again, thank you. My name is Robert Murphy. I appreciate the time and I look forward to helping you and helping uplift Los Angeles County together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
For helping us navigate through the Public Works website. So please, if you're interested in getting weekly notifications of Public Works bid opportunities, please sign up. And there should be a link in the chat for you. Okay, so next we have Mr. Keith Compton, an esteemed friend of the program. He is here with Olga Lopez, Senior Representative, to speak on the resources and assistance provided at his department, which is the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department at Metro. Welcome, Keith.
Thank you so much, and it's such a pleasure to participate in this particular meeting. I love participating in this meeting, meeting all of these people, new people and contractors, and I've met a couple in the last couple of weeks. Corey Hughes, I'm glad you're attending. Gabriel Illingworth, I'm glad to see your name here. And I always tell people it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So keep coming to these types of events. And I'm going to try to do this in 60 seconds because I want to give Olga the rest of the 90 or 9 minutes. But I am a director in our Diversity and Economic department. But we have this bonding program and our contractor finance assistance program as just a small part, a small piece. And we have other programs that, along with this program, really should give people a leg up. We never rest. We never rest finding ways to try to help small businesses. You have to listen, and then you have to put things into place. And I can't thank Merriwether and Williams enough. If we go to the next slide, the partnership has been absolutely amazing. We can go to the next slide. The contractor finance, the next slide, and assistance program. Oh, I'm going to give you the rest of the 9 minutes. We had to go to our executive management committee meeting today because our board members, which includes Director Kathryn Barger, they want to know, once we say we're going to do these things, they want figures, they want numbers, they want information. So my boss texted me at 11 o'clock last night and said, I need the numbers on the contractor finance assistance program for the executive management committee meeting. We're not just doing these things to try to, say, hey, we're doing this. We're reporting on this data monthly, quarterly, and annually. And a lot of our performance measures are tied to these. So these are real. Please take advantage of these programs. We will continue to listen to you and work for you. On behalf of our CEO, Stephanie Wiggins, and our executive director for the DEOD department, Tasha Smith, we thank you and continue to work with us. Bring your suggestions, and thank you, Merriwether and Williams. You guys are absolutely amazing. So without further ado, we can go to the next slide. I'd like to introduce our outreach superstar, Olga Maria Lopez.
Hi, Keith. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to make a presentation today. It has been a very busy day for us in outreach. But as Keith mentioned, yes, we strongly encourage our small business community to come grow with us, come do business with Metro, come and learn how to access what we have available. We are a massive agency. We do have a lot of opportunities that are coming down the pipeline. And so we are definitely interested in having you be a part of that. Next slide, please. As Keith mentioned, we are representing Metro's Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department, DEOD. We are a unit of the Office of the CEO. And in DEOD outreach, we are who you can consider your friends on the inside. We are the advocates for small business, and we serve as system navigators. We have a very big responsibility, and that is to administer and oversee the small business program initiatives. Keith just mentioned of one of the programs that he oversees. We also have the responsibility of publicizing the contract opportunities. We provide training, resources. We set goals on our contracts. If you're a DBE, SBE, and DVBE, you can definitely take advantage of that. And we also monitor compliance. Next slide, please. All of the information that is available for our small business community is included in Metro's vendor portal. That is metro.net/connect. The solicitations, the outreach events that we host or that we participate. For example, today's event is included in our vendor portal. Next slide, please. At Metro, there's two types of certifications that we accept, the DBE and the SBE. We recognize and we accept the DVBE. This type of certification is provided to the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise by the Department of General Services, DGS. So if you have this type of certification, we certainly accept. Next slide, please. Here's a list of the requirements for a DBE and an SBE. The neat thing is, if you have not yet started your certification process, when you submit your application, you have at the beginning of the certification application, you have the option of selecting both DBE and SBE. And here are the requirements that are listed that will grant you this type of certification. And that is, you must be an independent business organized for profit. Your net worth less than 1.32 million. Your annual gross receipts in a 3-year average must be less than 30.40 million. The qualifying individuals is in control of management and daily business operations and 51 ownership by one or more economically disadvantaged individuals. Next slide, please. You must also, for the DBE, there is an additional requirement, and that is being a socially disadvantaged. And what that means is any individual who's a citizen of the U.S. or is lawfully admitted permanent resident who's a member of any of these following groups, and that is African Americans, Hispanic, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, Subcontinent Asian Americans, and women. Next slide, please. There will be some NAICS codes that will be required when you are seeking to be a certified small business. The NAICS codes, it's one of the items that will be requested. If you're not sure what NAICS code falls under your small business, you can definitely visit the website that is included on this slide. And basically, NICS codes should match your primary line of work. There is a 5-year annual gross receipts average that is utilized for the NICS code size standard calculations. Once you are certified with Metro, the approved NICS codes will be listed with your firm in the DBE and or Metro's SBE certified firm directory. There's entities who are looking for certified firms. They use these databases to find businesses that have the NICS codes that is going to match the goods and services that they want to contract for or buy. Next slide, please. Here is the list of where you can begin your online application. If you haven't done so, metro.gov2g.com. If you have any questions regarding the certification application, you can contact one of my colleagues in the certification unit at metro.net. But if you prefer to have somebody on the phone, here is the number is listed 213-922-2600. And again, all of this information is included in metro.net/connect. Next slide, please. Here is a list of the Metro Small Business Programs, the Local Small Business Enterprise, LSBE, the Small Business Prime Set Aside, a medium size. After you graduate from our certification program, let's say your business grows and you're out of a DBE, SBE certified type business, then we have a program for medium-sized business enterprise, the MIS, and a contracting outreach and mentoring plan, the COMP, is another successful program that we have within our agency. But I want to call your attention to the Small Business Prime Set Aside. This year, we're going to be celebrating the 10th year anniversary of this program. We will be hosting a big event later this summer, but we're starting with an inaugural workshops. And the first one is scheduled for January the 30th. And what we're doing here, we're inviting small business primes who have successfully won contracts under the SB Prime program. We're going to be inviting the small businesses, just like yourself, who took advantage of the SB Prime program that we have at Metro. And we're going to invite them to talk about their experience, share, give us some insight as to how they were successful. Again, that first workshop will take place in January 30th at Metro headquarters. It will be an in-person event, and I really hope that you would join us at this outreach event that is coming up at Metro headquarters. Next slide, please. I know that we are limited with time, but I just wanted to show here just a bit about the LSBE program that we have available. It's a brand new program. In February of 22, the Metro Board approved the LSBE preference program. And this is to strengthen the local economy and continue the support of small businesses by maximizing contracting opportunities with which will increase the capacity and the growth of local small businesses on Metro contracts. In order for you to qualify for this program, your firm must first be an SBE certified with Metro. Remember in the beginning, I mentioned that when you seek a certification as a DBE and SBE, we will grant both certifications if you qualify for both. Well, we now have this third program that you will also get the opportunity to get connected with. One of the requirements is that you must be headquartered in the County of Los Angeles. Your business And that means you conduct physically your business here in the county of Los Angeles, and the firm's headquarters must be in LA County for at least 6 months prior to requesting your certification. Next slide, please. Here I mentioned the SB Prime program, the successful program. It's a groundbreaking that allows SBEs to compete as prime contractors. The neat thing is that SBEs will compete only against other SBEs and within the same NICS codes. This will be for projects that will meet the threshold criteria from 3,000 up to 4.99 million on federal and non-federal contracts. The SBEs are the primes under this program, and the large businesses, such as the major prime contractors, can be under the prime as subs. And the impact on this contract, over 220 million, has been awarded since the launch of this program, and that money continues to grow. Next slide, please. The medium size, so after you graduate from being a certified small business, we created, as I mentioned, the MIS program. It's a two-tiered approach for non-federally funded, negotiated, and competitive low bid procurements that between 5 million and 30 million. And here it describes how it's divided in a MIS 1 category and then MIS 2. And I'm assuming, Robert, that this presentation will be made available to our attendees. So I'm not going to go into all details because there is a lot of information.
Yeah.
But next slide, please. And I promise I'm coming to an end. The COMP program, the mentoring, the contracting outreach and mentoring plan. This is RFPs and IFPs that are 25 million and above are required to submit a plan. The architecture and engineering are exempt. But the objective of this program is to measurably grow capacity of the DBE and SBE, DBBE firms. So the bidders and proposers, this is typically on major capital projects. Those bidders and proposers must host outreach events so that the DBE and SBE, DBBE community can partake in these outreach events. This has to take place prior to their submittal. They must also provide innovative, measurable plans and evaluation criteria. Detailed technical assistance strategies, identify at least one mentor and one protege, and specify subcontracting approach that will include processes and procedures. Now, in terms of the outreach events that these major prime contractors hold, they typically share their flyer, their events with Metro, with the outreach team. So you will have the opportunity to access and view what events are happening that the major prime contractors will hold. So make sure you are visiting, you get familiarized with Metro's vendor portal at metro.net/connect. Next slide, please. And here's a list of what is happening in January. A disparity study public meeting is scheduled for an in-person at Metro headquarters on January 29th. We hope that you will have the opportunity to join us there. We definitely want to hear from our small business community. And then on the 30th, I mentioned the inaugural event for Meet the Small Business Prime workshop. And it's an opportunity to hear from a panel of successful SB Prime awardees and they're going to share their experience of how to win SB Prime contracts. This event is also scheduled in person at Metro headquarters. I sincerely hope that you will have the opportunity to join us on January 30th. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you so much, Merriwether and Williams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olga and Keith, for an excellent presentation and your continued support of the program. Next, we have Miguel Angel Tamayo. He is a contract analyst for the Internal Services Department. Welcome, Miguel Angel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mildred, for that introduction, and thank you for having us. It's a pleasure for ISD to be here and take a few moments to let you know about what it is that we do at ISD. So as previously mentioned, I'm with the Internal Services Department, Contracting Division, and we provide the county departments with vital goods and services. In addition, we provide centralized purchasing services for and on behalf of all county departments, as well as contract and key administrative support services for ISD and other county departments. I will be talking about how to register to do business with the county, and I will also be showing you how to search for open solicitations. Next slide, please. So, excuse me. So earlier, Robert from DPW mentioned how ISD handles the vendor registration. So the first step to doing business with the county is you have to register as a vendor. And why register as a vendor? Well, it's the only way that the county can know who you are and what goods and services you can supply us. It also allows you to receive communication pertaining to all of the bulleted items listed here. So for things such as solicitations, awards, events, trainings, and programs. And last but not least, it's the only way that we can award you a contract and also pay you, right? So we all want to get paid for the work that we do. Next slide, please. So here is the landing page for our doing business with LA County. So here we've highlighted the register button. So as you can see, this is where you would start the registration process by clicking the register button. Next slide, please. That will lead you to this page where you can click on the new registration to begin to enter your personal and business information. You will please note here under the Getting Started tab, it lists some items that you should collect prior to sitting down to do your registration. For example, one of the things you're going to need is your tax ID. Another thing listed here will be a point of contact for your company. So I recommend that you visit this page and see what it is that you need to collect before you get started, just so that you make good use of your time. Next slide, please. So this is now going back to the landing page. This is how you would search for open solicitations. So you would click on the open solicitation button here, and then you can search by department, commodity, keyword, or solicitation number. So for example, if the majority of your business is in construction, you can type in construction and it will list things of the sort. Next slide, please. So as you can see here, we have a print screen of a construction search that we did not too long ago. So as you can see, it's gonna list along the left here, the solicitation number. In the middle will be the title of the solicitation. The type, it's important for you to know what type of service it is. So again, if it's specific to construction, it's gonna list that here. It's gonna list the department that's in charge of the solicitation, who's actually running it, and who is in charge of the solicitation. And then lastly here, the date. It's important to note when it says continuous, that means that it's open-ended, it's not closed. Every solicitation that's put out by the county has an initial qualification date, and that's just so that we can get a set of contractors to our board and have them approved so that we can start doing work. But say, for example, if the contract is for 5 years, if it says continuous, that means it's going to remain open for the duration of the contract term. One of the good things about that is if you're a contractor, you're a small business, and let's say the minimum requirement is, you need 3 years of experience and you only have the 2, well, within that 1 year, you'll be able to meet that minimum requirement if you, at that point, will have the 3 years. So open continuous is something really good that you should look out for, because just because you don't qualify now doesn't mean you're not going to be able to qualify in the near future. Next slide, please. So here are some of the current master agreements that are open with ISD. As you can see, they vary in service type, but here we've highlighted our disaster emergency service master agreement and also the ancillary services master agreement. If you look here, we also list a solicitation number, the solicitation open date. That's just when it was when we started to allow bids. And as you can see, these are all open continuous. And here we've also provided the contract analyst name. So this would be your point of contact for a specific solicitation, and also their email address. So anytime you have any questions regarding that solicitation, you would send the email to that analyst. And again, they will be your point of contact. Next slide, please. And finally, at a glance, here are some important websites for you. Again, some other point of contacts that you should make note of. So we have the doing business page on the left, which is what we just talked about, which is where you would go to your vendor registration. On the right, that top email is for our vendor relations team. So we have a team at ISD that will walk you through your vendor registration. If you feel like you registered in the past and you don't recall your vendor number, they can look you up. They can tell you we do have you on record or we don't. That's also their phone number listed there. Vendor registration. Again, that's where you can go for vendor registration. Open solicitation is what we just talked about, how you can search for any current open solicitations. And then this one here at the bottom right is Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Please make a note of that website. This is where you can find more information on the preference programs that are offered by LA County. Some of those are the local small business enterprise preference program, community business enterprise, social enterprise, and the disabled veteran business enterprise. So I know Olga spoke about that earlier in regards to Metro, and these are something along the same line, but these are specific to the county. And next slide, please. And with that, I will remain on for some questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miguel Angel. And as you've heard from our speakers today, it's essential to sign up for each department's portal to be notified of the latest bid opportunities and upcoming events. If you missed anything, pardon me, of today's presentations, we'll be sharing a recording of the webinar and the PowerPoint presentations with all the attendees for your future use and review. So please keep an eye out for that. And we've now arrived at our Q&A section of the webinar. Before we begin, kindly use the chat function to drop your questions. Please ensure that you mention your name and the name of the speaker to whom your question is addressed. Also, could all the speakers please turn on your camera so that your name can appear on the screen. So let's go ahead and start. And I will ask the questions as they come up. If any come up.
Yeah, I'm sure they have questions out there.
There was one question. I'm not sure which speaker they were speaking to, but they asked if nonprofit organizations are allowed to bid on these opportunities.
Okay, if the contractor is still on and asked that question, if you could please let us know to whom you addressed that question to, and we'll be happy to answer that.
We had a question for LA Metro. They're asking, I am a certified as a trucking company. I recently added construction aggregates to my business. So does that mean I have to recertify or can I just add it?
That's like a very good question for two reasons. One, I know we've had in the past some small businesses who got into some performance issues, and long ago, you could just add the next code that you were interested in to your certification. But now I believe the certification unit requires you to provide some sort of information, and I'm not with the certification department, that shows that you can perform that work. So if you can demonstrate that you can perform that work, then the certification unit will add that NAICS codes to your certification. That's my understanding. And there's a previous question. I wanted somebody else to chime in first, but it depends on the procurement when it comes to whether a nonprofit can go after a metro contract or not. I personally put an I'm not sure if it was an RFP, but I put a procurement out because I needed a bench of nonprofits for a construction careers program that I was helping Metro with. So I believe it depends on the type of procurement and the need, because I wanted nonprofits on the bench and I was able to create that. So it all depends on the type of procurement, but in general, I believe nonprofits are not able to go after just any procurement, any contract.
Thank you, Keith. And then we had another question for, I believe, Los Angeles County. Someone asked, do you have to be in LA County to be eligible to use all of these services?
Is that for ISD or Public Works for both LA County? If they're referring to the preference programs, there's specific requirements that they need to meet. So my recommendation would be to visit the website and talk to a DCBA counselor, and they can provide better clarification.
Thank you. And then we had an additional question asking, I am in digital marketing, specializing in AI quality search leads. The question is, does Metro or the county have use of digital marketing using AI search?
This is Keith with Los Angeles Metro. I would have to get back to you since I am not in the IT department. That would be an IT question. To my knowledge, I haven't heard, or they haven't told us, but they don't have to. The IT department would have to answer that. So if I could get Merriwether and Williams to email that question to me, I can forward that and get a response.
Thank you, Keith. We'll forward that over to you.
And for the county, I know that the county is in need of anything and everything, to be honest. So for that contractor or potential contractor, my recommendation would be to go and register to do business with the county and then search for that either commodity code or for that search word and see what pops up. Because I know that that's the direction that everybody knows we're heading in, right? AI. So if there's not a need now, there's going to be a need in the near future. So it's better for you to use the time that you have now to get the certifications that you need now and register and be ready.
Thank you both. So we have another question for LA Metro. They asked, do you apply for the LSBE certification in the same portal as the DBE and SBE certification?
Yes, that is correct. And I must disclose that I have been off work for an extended period of time, and I got back a couple of weeks ago. Unless something's changed in the last 6 months, all of our certifications can be applied for through our one single certification application online. The only exception is our DVBE program, the veterans program that we accept, and we accept DGS's certification. So yes, you should be able to use that same application.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
We had one
Sorry.
question. Go ahead.
We do have time for one more question, and everyone else who didn't, we will certainly take your questions and forward them to the appropriate person and hopefully get an answer for you next week. But go ahead, Carla.
Okay, the question was, I believe this is both for LA County and Metro. Can a DVBE company have subs that run off of our DVBE certification?
Another great question. Robert, you have been doing a lot of good work. You're bringing in some good people, Mr. Laurie. So if I understand the question correctly, if there is a DVBE that is this DVBE performing, is this like a set aside prime question? If it's that, I mean, if the DVBE is a prime, then all primes have to perform 60% of the work, or it's whatever that percentage is. As long as they perform that percent of the work, then they can have whatever subs that they want. Now, if they want, let's say they are not a prime on a contract, but they're a DVBE, say there's a 20% DVBE goal, and they are a DVBE, and they win that contract, and that prime wants to count them towards the 20%. If they're using subcontractors, if that DVBE is using subcontractors that are not DVBE certified, then that 20%, all of that 20%, they have to look at to see who's performing what, because depending on the type of work, the scope, if they're providing, supplies or, whatever it is, there are percentages that have to be factored, and that 20% may not be satisfied. So it depends on, I need more information in the question, but I'm trying to answer it anyway. You have to have a DVBE subbing to another DVBE, then you get 100% credit for that 20% requirement. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you to all the speakers. We have reached the end of our webinar. For closing remarks, please welcome Robert Lowry.
All right, thank you, everybody. I want to thank our special guest speakers, Kathryn Barger from the Robert Murphy, Keith Compton, Olga Lopez, and Miguel Tamayo. I'm sorry, I butchered your name for that, but great information that you guys have presented today. And as your attendees, you can see how serious that these agencies are about helping small construction related contractors to get business, to grow your business. So we do ask that you visit our website to get the enrollment form. And also remember that the services is free to you. These agencies are paying for this. So I suggest that you utilize this to the, your best of your ability. With that, you do get a dedicated CDM. We also talked about the CFAP and, the pre-qualification that Janet talked about. And it's not an overnight thing. It takes at least a couple weeks, 3 weeks, depends on how organized you are with your paperwork and the ongoing pre-qualifications. So if you are considering, using the CFAP, start now with your pre-qualification, because it could take a month. We don't want you to say, oh, I'm bidding a job, I just want it, and I'm starting in 2 weeks. We can do it, but we prefer to have that time to properly get it set up for you. Also, we do have some upcoming workshops and academies, so be on the lookout for all that. Like I said, we have a lot that's going on, and we are dedicated to advocate for you small contractors with that. And I also would like to thank my team, Janet, Alex, and Mildred, for all the great work they did to put this, and Carla for putting on this outreach program. So with that, I want to thank you all.
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.